Okay, so we are being recorded. So what we had in mind, what kind of came forward as we were meditating on the call, and the invitation kind of mentioned, invited people to just bring your stories or maybe a short reading or poem or even a song, anything that you would like to share with the circle in the spirit of gratitude, blessings, the spirit of the season. And we'll go around. If we have extra time left over, we can do a round of kind of energizing blessings and intentions. So we'll see where we are with time. Does that sound like a good plan for everyone? Or?
Yes, that sounds great.
Yep. Okay, great. So this is very collaborative gathering tonight. And Topsoil and Diane, did you want to add anything? Or?
No, I'm great. Thank you.
Okay, terrific. Okay, great. So I'll open the call with our customary invocation, and then we can go ahead and get started. So let's take a moment now to get settled, to center ourselves, to let go of the events of this day, and begin to enter the deeper sacred space within ourselves. Now, let us imagine that we are joining together, sacred heart to sacred heart, with every other person on the call right now. Now let us imagine that we're joining together in a circle with a light or flame or fire in the center. Imagine a spoke of light coming from the center of the circle to your heart, and for each person on the call tonight or listening in afterwards. Now we are connected, sacred heart to sacred heart. Now let us set our intentions. We listen to one another with compassion and curiosity. We ask for what we need and offer what we can. We deepen our connection with one another and the divine. May this sharing serve us, our communities, and the planet. And so it is.
So it is.
Great. And so we can share some thoughts, blessings, readings about gratitude, anything you'd like to bring forward in this space. So whoever would like to start can go ahead. And there's about 6 of us on the call, so we have about 5 minutes apiece, give or take. So this is a guideline. So anyone who's moved can jump on in.
This is
Margaret.
Nancy. I'm happy to start with something.
Okay, I'll
great. Thank you.
I'll go. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a poem that I wrote a week ago, taking the train out to Denver, and every time I do that, I'm so grateful for all of the nature, the earth and sky that I see along the way. And so I wrote a poem about it, and I called it Silver Load. Silver Load. Peach pours slowly across smoky skies. The early prairie wakens. A patchwork of gray hay-harvested fields, stapled together by sprinklers on wheels that rest and rust on roughshod ground by sagebrush and prickly weeds. The sun god paints with silver brushes, splashes light on endless grasses, till 100 hay rolls glisten, frozen, awaiting the teeth of winter horses. Mouthful by mouthful, nuzzled alfalfa, nibbled, then torn, drip with shining saliva. The cattle pond gleams, a silver dollar, until the young sun rises higher, painting in pastel orange aurora. And back from the road, the tumble-down farmhouse, wood weathered white as an old woman's hair, hides behind a curtain of ragged trees, unshielded by seasons of silver wind. The old house smiles when a burst of light burnishes its eastern window red. Far away, cedars of muted viridian, ghost trees and cottonwoods float in fog, dancing across the vanished horizon. And where does that narrow and rutted road go when behind the hill it disappears?
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you for sharing it.
Yeah,
You're
I could
welcome.
see all the images and everything.
That's great.
I
Well,
have a big smile.
Mm-hmm. It's a wonderful way when you're traveling to really be able to just love and feel such gratitude for earth and sky, mile after mile.
How true.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you all.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I'm Margaret, and I'm going to share this, and I'm gratitude. Anyway, I'm sharing that I had 5 major strokes, and I kept dying each time. And I saw angels, many angels, and divine creator, and my dad, and archangels too. And the creator told me many things about my life, and he told me a lot of stuff that have already happened, and I was surprised, and I started to see that divine creator loves me so much, and he has such a sense of humor, more funnier than Robin Williams, and I used to like him. So anyway, I thought that was funny. And anyway, divine creator, like I said, has a sense of humor, very lovable. So I'm very grateful. I'm thankful for living life on earth after dying and kept coming back. And I was in a wheelchair and everything, and my voice went. Each time I had a major stroke, I had to go starting 0. I couldn't talk and everything. But I learned a lot. And anyway, next month it'll be 3 years. And
wow.
I'm so thankful. Even though I can still cry, but I'm actually happy. Anyway, And Creator ended up telling me that the president was going to be Donald Trump. And he told me many months before it came out. I mean, I was like, oh, wow. So it is true. Anyway, I thought I'd share that.
Great. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome. And I figure you all understand. You know, you didn't have to have it, but you understand.
It's very brave to have that experience multiple times and to work your way back to. That's really amazing.
Yeah. And the doctors and the nurses and some of them there, the hospitals and the rehabs. I went to 4 rehabs before I came back home. They said, "You're a miracle." That's what they would tell me. I said, "Yeah, I guess I am." Anyway, but yes. So I'm still working on myself, so that's why I'm still doing the sabbatical, you know. Yeah. But, you know, eventually I'll get there, but, you know, every week I'm going forward.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing. It's very powerful.
Oh, you're welcome. Anyway, love you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess I can go next. This is Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Hi. And what came to me was, you know, kind of, I'm very attuned to trees and they kind of natural world, but I find myself always kind of tuning into the trees and the plant spirits. And when I was young, I spent some time at Findhorn community where they talk to the nature spirits, the devas, and that really was an inspiration to me. And I've had an experience several times in my life of being contacted by a deva, a nature spirit. And one of the times was at a Thanksgiving, and I had talked to my mother on the phone. I was planning to go home for the holiday meal that she would cook, and she was sharing with me a couple of days before that she had got these beautiful string beans, and she was going to, I remember she said she was going to parboil them and going to fix them in a special way, and she was describing this recipe. I think it had almonds, like toasted almonds on the string beans, and she described this recipe, and I hung up the phone, and I was working at my desk, and I got contacted by this deva. It kind of just entered into my consciousness, or kind of overtook me, and quite out of the blue, and it was the deva of string bean. And it was the most incredibly beautiful, like perfect being, like way beyond human intelligence. It was all about like sacred geometry. It had these like spirals in its energy field, and just absolutely like a royal energy, and quite quite beyond the human realm. And what it told me was, it said, don't thank God for the vegetables, thank the vegetables. And that really made an impression on me. That was, the essence of its communication. And afterwards, so it was this kind of feeling or direct, experience of this superhuman intelligence, and then that was kind of the transmission. And then later, thinking about it, I realized that they probably, my mother probably wouldn't be, listening for that kind of thing. So it came through me. Was sort of the nearest available listening human, and that was the message: is thank the vegetable kingdom directly, and so that really made an impression on me. And whenever it's this time of year, I think about that, and so I'm kind of inspired to sort of thank all the vegetables that will be on our tables in the coming days, as well as the animals and plants. So along those lines, I have a couple of little quotes that I'll read. And so I came across a little quote by Khalil Gibran, and he says, "And when you crush an apple with your teeth, say to it in your heart, 'Your seeds shall live in my body, and the buds of your tomorrow shall blossom in my heart, and your fragrance shall be my breath, and together we shall rejoice through all the seasons.'" That's the communion with the plant world. And then I'll end by reading a little passage from Thomas Merton on gratitude. And so he says, "To be grateful is to recognize the love of God in everything He has given us. And He has given us everything. Every breath we draw is a gift of His love. Every moment of existence is a grace, for it brings with it immense graces from Him. Gratitude, therefore, takes nothing for granted, is never unresponsive, is constantly awakening to new wonder and to praise of the goodness of God. For the grateful person knows that God is good, not by hearsay, but by experience. And that is what makes all the difference." And so that's my thought so thank you.
It was beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This is Ying. Yesterday, I almost passed out while walking across a very, very busy street, and I barely made it cross over to the other side of the street safely. And I walked into a bakery, and I found I almost close to passing out. And I saw one of my friends sitting there talking to her friends. And then I told her, I think I'm very low in blood sugar. I think I'm going to pass out. Can you get me something to eat? So I found a place. There's only one empty seat. So I sit there by the door. And before I passed out, she came over with the hot tea with milk and a vegetable bun. So I sit there and ate slowly, and eventually I gain strength. So I walk home, and then even today, my heart beats. It's not functioning normal. I think the heart beats very fast. It just feels like something bad is going to happen. Sometimes my body react that way. So I took a nap this afternoon, and I woke up a few hours ago, and I feel like everything is fine. I mean, I'm so grateful everything works out. I wasn't hurt. I didn't run over by a car. I made it home safely, and I got enough food to last me pass through this cold week. So I'm all prepared, and I'm very grateful. And we have the call tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing.
It's Topsoil here. I guess I gravitated more towards the blessing side. When we talked about what to do on this call, I thought of John O'Donohue's book of blessings. It's called "To Bless the Space Between Us," and I always find it really powerful to read these blessings. Just opened the book to a few different ones caught my eye, and maybe they'll be fitting for now. But I think just depending on how long it takes to read, I don't want to hog too much time, but I'll read a couple or so. But I'll start with one. It's a blessing for light. Light cannot see inside things. That is what the darkness is for. Minding the interior, nurturing the draw of growth through places where death in its own way turns into life. In the glare of neon times, let our eyes not be worn by surfaces that shine with hunger made attractive, that our thoughts may be true light, finding their way into words which have the weight of shadow to hold the layers of truth. That we never place our trust in minds claimed by empty light, where one-sided certainties are driven by false desire. When we look into the heart, may our eyes have the kindness and reverence of candlelight. That the searching of our minds be equal to the oblique crevices and corners where the mystery continues to dwell, glimmering in fugitive light. When we are confined inside the dark house of suffering, that moonlight might find a window. When we become false and lost, that the severe noonlight would cast our shadow clear. When we love, that dawn light would lighten our feet upon the waters. As we grow old, that twilight would illuminate treasure in the fields of memory. And when we come to search for God, let us first be robed in night, putting on the mind of morning to feel the rush of light spread slowly inside the color and stillness of a found world. So that one's a blessing for light.
Beautiful. That's really cool.
And I'll read for belonging, a blessing for belonging. May you listen to your longing to be free. May the frames of your belonging be generous enough for your dreams. May you arise each day with a voice of blessing whispering in your heart. May you find harmony between your soul and your life. May the sanctuary of your soul never become haunted. May you know the eternal longing that lives at the heart of time. May there be kindness in your gaze when you look within. May you never place walls between the light and yourself. May you allow the beauty of the invisible world to gather you, mind you, and embrace you in belonging. And I think I'll do a couple other ones that are shorter too. So, a blessing to come home to yourself. May all that is unforgiven in you be released. May your fears yield their deepest tranquilities. May all that is unlived in you blossom into a future graced with love. And then the last one that I'll read is, seems seasonally appropriate. It's a blessing for celebration. Now is the time to free the heart. Let all intentions and worries stop. Feel the joy inside the self. Awaken to the wonder of your life. Open your eyes and see the friends whose hearts recognize your faith as kin, those whose kindness watchful and near, encourages you to live everything here. See the gifts the years have given, things your efforts could never earn, the health to enjoy who you want to be, and the mind to mirror mystery. So those are a few blessings out of this book called To Bless the Space Between Us by John O'Donohue.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Yes, thank you for sharing.
This is Diane. And I've very much enjoyed everyone's sharing and feel very grateful to be on the call focused on gratitude. Speaking of which, there's a really wonderful website called gratefulness.org. It's beautifully done. There's a question of the day every day. There's a blog within it. There's poetry. There's great commentary. It's
it's very well done. And for this week, being Thanksgiving week, they have some really beautiful Thanksgiving blessings. This first one is an author unknown. Autumn and our hearts are seeking grace. All around us, nature bids us change. Accept and give thanks for falling into surrender, into trust that we will be held and our brokenness made whole. There's many other wonderful sort of blessings at, obviously many at the table. And so I'll read another that is traditional Islam, from Islam. As we sit at table and rejoice in the mercy and goodness of the one God, may the bonds of friendship be strengthened. May our fellowship be a light in the darkness. And most importantly, may we remember that in our opening ourselves to each other, that we open ourselves to God. Thank you, and many blessings on everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, I think we have plenty of time. We had thought of doing a second round and of kind of energy work or, blessing actively. And so if you like, we could all take about 2 minutes or so, 2 or 3 minutes apiece. And so everyone can direct the intention however they would like. You can kind of say what intention you'd like us to energize as a group, and then we can spend 2 or 3 minutes in the space. Does that sound like a good idea, or is there another way people would like to use the time?
No, that sounds good.
I think it sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'll get the timer here. And would someone like to start? We'll set the timer for 2 minutes, and then we'll see how that goes. And whoever would like to start, you can jump on in.
This is Diane. I can start. I would like to intend an upward spiral to greater abundance. So in those places in myself that come from lack and poverty mentality, I would like to welcome that poverty mentality by surrounding it with a lot of grace and quality of abundance. so that it is welcomed into the space and encouraged by love and grace and abundance to shift into that space with ease. Thank you, and I'm complete.
All right, wonderful. So I'll set the timer for 2 minutes so we can energize that intention, do some energy work, however that makes sense to us.
Thank you.
I guess I'll go. My intent.
Oh, sorry. So we're still doing the 2 minutes. So the chime will ring when we're over, and then we'll transition. All right, and that's the 2-minute timer.
Thank you.
Great. And Margaret, did you want to go next?
Yes, please. My intention is unity, healthy body for all of us and me, and joy.
Wonderful. All right, great. I'll set the timer for a few minutes. All right. And that's 2 minutes. Great. And wow, that energy of joy really came through. Beautiful. All right. And would someone like to go next?
Me. It's Ying.
All right.
I like to dedicate our energy to all the people suffered by the California fire.
Yeah, wonderful. All right, I'll start the timer now for 2 minutes. All right. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I guess I can go next. This is Laura, and I'd like to send energy and gratitude to the trees and the waters, the oceans. And what comes to mind is the trees in your local area, but whatever trees you're drawn to, and the oceans. So I'll set the timer for 2 minutes. All right. And Topsail, do you want to go?
I can. I guess I was originally thinking of an intention, and then you, Laura, did a gratitude for something, and that sort of shifted my attention and awareness, and I started thinking about how one of the things that I'm really grateful for is that I like my home. I like where I live. I think it's beautiful and comfortable, and I'm so grateful to be able to live here. And so I think the thing that I'd like to put out as a focus for us is about home and people having homes, people finding appreciation and love for where they are. I guess, to be able to build that appreciation and feel, I guess because not everybody has that, and, has somewhere where they feel comfortable, and so I would wish that for them. And I would also like to focus on and invite us to focus on the good feelings that any of us do have about where we live. So augmenting that appreciation and making it available, perhaps for people who are in need.
All right, beautiful. So I'll start the timer for 2 minutes. All right. And that completes our round of blessings. Thank you. Very beautiful.
I haven't gone yet. This is Nancy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I would like my focus to be, or our focus to be, for one of our 9 grandchildren, Catherine, who's about to become 2 and who has a very, very rare genetic anomaly that causes a lot of neurological and thus sensory challenges. And I would like to focus on her healing and the easing of her path of being in this world. At the same time, being very grateful for how she's opening human hearts in many ways.
Beautiful. Thank you. We'll start the timer for 2 minutes. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that brings us to the end of our time container, so we can begin to bring our time together tonight to a close. Is there anything that anyone would like to say or share before we close?
I would jump in with thanks, Laura, for leading the call, and thanks everybody for your beautiful contribution.
I would echo that. Thank you very much, and happy Thanksgiving to all.
I wish you happy Thanksgiving for all of you, too.
This is Nancy. Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you all for your beautiful light.
Yeah, I appreciate you all. This is Margaret. Thank you so much.
This is Ian. Thank you, everyone, and wish you everyone have healthy, safe, and beautiful Thanksgiving.
And this is Laura. Thank you. And it was so wonderful to share this time with you, this heart connection and sharing this fellowship. It's very inspiring. And I wish you all an abundant and joyful holiday and Thanksgiving. And so I'll end with the traditional closing. So thank you for joining us for this Spirit Gathering teleconference. The call may be archived as an MP3 at www.tzaddi.org. Phone access to the recording of this call is available until next month's call. For playback of the recording, dial 712-432-1085, access code 990322#. We hope you'll join us for our next Spirit Gathering on December 18th, and Sue Roeder will be leading the traditional holiday blessing call, and the blessings of the 7 rays. And these calls are hosted by Tzaddi, an inner spiritual metaphysical organization founded in California in 1964. Tzaddi welcomes, nurtures, and supports people in celebrating and more directly experiencing their relationship with the loving presence of the divine. Our programs are open to people of any race, color, or national or ethnic origin. Visit www.tzaddi.org to learn more. We will now close with thanks and a blessing. Thanks to Tzaddi founders Amy Keyes and Dorothy Blackmere. Thanks to all of you who have been part of our community tonight. And thanks to the divine who supports us always, even when we are not aware of it. And so blessings to everyone.
Blessings.
And have a wonderful evening and Thanksgiving.